Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. So with school starting, college starting, work starting if you're a teacher, I thought now would be a great time to do back to basics because not everyone knows how to apply certain makeup products or what order to apply them in or how to do a basic full face of makeup. So get ready to learn because I'm your teacher and I'm going to explain to you all of those things. Okay, so I just put my hair up and I got out all of the products that I'm going to be using today. You can of course use your own color, find the ones that work for you. This is just like basically a rough draft of what you could do for your full face of makeup. I am going to go in depth on how to apply and where to apply and what type of product you should get for like a singular product in other videos. But right now I'm just going to do a full face of makeup, just your basic everyday look, a little bit of soft glam, and if you want to dress up or if you're just having a casual day at the office or you're going back to school and you want to take care of yourself, this is for you. So my face is clean, but I'm gonna go in with a CeraVe moisturizer just to like kind of get it primed. I don't use primer. I haven't felt a need for it, and you don't want to put too much on your face because it's easy for the products to roll off, and some of the skincare products you're using don't stick to makeup. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put it all over this moisturizer. You can use whatever you have. And be careful around your eyes always. They're sensitive. And I'm just moving it all around. Want to get your neck too because you put makeup on your neck also so that it all blends in. And also, while I'm talking about necks, when you're picking out a foundation, make sure you choose one that matches the tone of your neck and not always your face. Your face can have redness, it can have undertones and everything. So I do have some redness, but you're going to want to pick a foundation that matches your neck. So I'm going to have the products I'm using today, just the basic products or foundation, concealer, contour, liquid blush, powder, highlighter, bronzer, and then lip liner, eyebrows, mascara, and setting spray. But that is just a rough outline of what I'm doing. So first, we're going to start with foundation. Some people put concealer before foundation. I am personally not in love with that. I like just putting foundation first and concealer on top. If you have mature skin or if your skin is more prone to breakouts or you just simply want less makeup on, you can put foundation on and just avoid the areas where you put concealer so that there's less and it all blends out together. But I am going to do full coverage today, so I'm going to go in with foundation. I use L'Oreal Infallible. I've had no problems with it. I love it. And yeah, so I'm going to take... Normally I put it on my hand, but I don't feel like doing that today. So I'm going to just use plastic container, do a pump. And now I used to apply it with a makeup brush, just like your typical fluffy brush. But I feel like that wasn't really getting to my skin. It was just dirtying a brush for no reason. So actually, just dab it with your finger. And you're going to start on the cheek and work it in. You're not blending it. You're just moving it around where it goes. Get it in there. And then on the other side, you're going to do the same exact thing. And you're just going to work that, okay? Doesn't need to be super heavy. You don't want heavy makeup. You don't want it to look cakey. But you do need to get full coverage. Then you're going to move it here. And make sure you get up to your hairline. Don't get it in your hair, but get it up to your hairline so that it blends. Okay. I have a mirror here that I'm going to be looking at. Foundation there. And there. One more on the nose over here. Okay, now to blend this all in, I'm going to take a sponge that just looks like this. And I'm going to make sure that it's damp. Not soaking wet, but just damp. Damp enough so that it blends it in better, okay? And then we're just going to start up here. I might have made that a little too damp. Okay. We're just going to start on the cheekbone and we're going to work our way in and down. You're just basically pressing this into your skin. Right around the nose. So foundation is the product that goes everywhere. This is just basically, it evens out your skin tone. That's the purpose of it. You can go fast, you can go slow, you can do whatever you need to do. Okay, so I applied the full face of foundation. I added more where it was needed. a lot of things professionals do is they'll just put on the light coat first and they'll gradually add more as needed. So you could do whatever works for you, but just you don't have to cake on it on your face, and you can take your time with it. So that was that. Now I'm going to go in with concealer. A lot of people like to put concealer right here, and they put a lot on. They'll like melt on and we'll put it like really close to their under eye, and I've done that myself when I was first starting out doing makeup, and it got in my eye, and it will probably get in your eye if you don't do it right. So you just bring it down below, like little down below, see, from your eyes so that you have more room, and then you're going to do a little out here, see, and then same thing. I'm using Revolution concealer. I really like this one. It's oil free. I've talked about it in my other videos. And then some spots that I like to conceal is around the nose, because that has a tendency to get not really hold well. I do a little bit on the nose here, right above the lip, under the chin, and I do it up here if you just have any spots you need to cover. That is where I do concealer. Concealer is meant to conceal, but I also like that it brightens around your eyes. You're going to take the same sponge and you're going to start underneath your eye and just work it back and up, just little dabbing sensations like that. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but color correcting concealer. So green cancels out red and purple cancels out, yellow cancels out purple. I've used that in the past. Actually I used it a few weeks ago. It is good, and I felt like it did cancel out the red, but you have to be careful that you mix it with your normal concealer, otherwise your face will look great. And I didn't know that when I did it, and my face ended up looking great. We're just gonna blend that out. Now I know it looks rough right now, but it's gonna get better. It's a trust the process kind of thing. And yeah, okay, so that's all concealed. Now I'm gonna go in with a powder. I use CoverGirl's Clean Matte Powder, and just gonna get that on a brush. And you're just gonna put that everywhere. I like to target underneath my eyes to smooth everything out, but you don't have to do that. This will help just like get the makeup on, it'll help it stick everywhere. And when I'm doing it, I'm not just rubbing the brush, I'm doing like dabbing motions like that, because that's pressing it in rather than just sliding it all around. And don't forget your neck. Do a little more under the eyes. You can look up while you're doing it, that sometimes helps. I don't do like bake yet, but I have wanted to try that. But this is just a basic makeup look, and I feel like bake isn't basic. Perfect. Just a little smoothing out. Now, next you're gonna go in with a contour. Now there's two different types of contour. There's the one I have that's like a liquid contour. I'm using e.l.f.'s Halo Glow, or you can use like a waxy stick of contour. And basically contour goes right like on your cheekbone. It goes on each side of your nose, and you do a little bridge here, or you do figure 8. I've been doing the 8 and I like that better. It goes across the top of your forehead, here, jawline, and your jawline, and under your chin. Okay, bronzer and contour do get confused very often. So actually bronzer goes here and here also, but bronzer is meant to bring warmth to your face. Contour is meant to look like shadows. So typically you want to contour with a cool undertone, like a blue or a gray, because it's meant to look like a shadow. And your bronzer can have red undertones, warm undertones, because it is bringing like a sun-kissed look to your face. My contour I feel like does not have a cool undertone, and I've been wanting to do that, but it works. So going right there and right up into the hairline. Don't panic. This is what shampoo's for. It gets out of here. So, and now we're going to brush it back with a single sweep. You're not dabbing it in. If you dab it in, it will look muddy. So we're doing it with a single sweep. The reason I don't put it all over my face before blending is because it will stain. So you're going to want to do this one line at a time. And there we go. Nice straight line, enhancing your cheekbones, and all the way up. There we go. See? You see the difference, the shadow versus less of a shadow? That's what contour does. Now you're gonna go do the same thing and up. Sometimes it helps if you squeeze your lips to get your face tighter, so that's easier to blend up. And there we go. See? Nice little shadow now. Look at that instant difference. Now you're going to go straight to your temples, right there, and let it connect to that line. I always say it's like an L, like that, or like that. So that's how you know. And you go straight down into it. Perfect. And same thing over here. Gorgeous. Perfect. I love it. And now I'm going to go right up here. Okay, I blended out my forehead, and now I'm going to go for my nose. We're going to start by like just below the eyebrow, okay? That's where contour goes. So just below the eyebrow, and we're going to bring it down to like a figure 8 kind of. And then we're going to do it on this other side, and we're going to bring it down just like that. And we do a little right there to create a nice shadow. Now, instead of using a big fluffy brush, I use one of the smaller ones for the nose. It just helps it blend out better. Bring it all the way up, back and forth. You can do quicker strokes with this. And you're going to blend it there. Go with the line. Perfect. Nice and blended out. Love it. And last but not least, we're going to target the jawline. So right there, right on the bone, and a little under the chin. Perfect. Big fluffy strokes. You're really going to want to blend this in. I prefer to blend it up than I do down, because it will be noticeable if your jawline is much darker than your neck. So you're really going to want to bust that out. Circular motion sometimes helps it blend better. Just like that. Already looking better. For anyone who's watching, you are beautiful without makeup. Your big sis advice of the day is you don't need makeup to look pretty, but it can really, really help you feel beautiful. And I think that's always better than actually looking pretty, feeling pretty, you know? Feeling like you have your sparkle back. Yeah. Just blend that out under the chin. Perfect. And now I am going to go in with a little bit of liquid blush. So I am using Dr. Paw liquid blush. I have an e.l.f. liquid blush. I love it. It's Cheeky Lychee brand color. They have the weirdest names. But I've been liking this color a lot more, and it's supposed to be natural, which I love. So I'm gonna put that right on the cheekbone. So right there. If for basic blush placement, to give you like a lifted blush look especially, you're gonna do 2 fingers away from your nose, and you're gonna go up with your blush, but not past your eyebrow, okay? So roughly do 2 fingers right there. And you're just gonna get a dot on your cheek. See them coming out. Okay. Beautiful. And now, big fluffy brush again. You can use the same brush. You don't have to have a ton of products and supplies. You can use what you have. And I'm just going to brush that out. Out and up. Like that. See? When you do it right on top of your cheekbone, it will prevent it from interfering with your contour. See, look at that. It's not too much. It's subtle. I don't like a lot of heavy makeup, and I don't like a lot of heavy blush. I use a lot of products, but I don't want it to look like I use a lot of products. Okay, so it's all supposed to be natural and blended out. See in this mirror? Perfect. See, it sculpts so much more, and it brings that brightness and nice rosy look to your cheeks. Again, this is my new favorite blush. I only have a little bit though, so I need more soon. Okay, and the same thing on the other side. Did I even get it? Oh my gosh. Okay. So again, 2 fingers, and we're just gonna brush it up. And perfect, I have blush perfectly applied, just a little. I don't like a lot of blush, so if you like blush, definitely put more on, but I never put a ton on. So I did that, and typically after blush, you go in with highlighter. I'm using Wander Beauty highlighter. It's so pretty. If I figure out how to open all this stuff, guys, I'm telling you, sometimes just can't open it. That's what it looks like. It's really pretty. I love it. Now you can use like a little brush to put highlighter on, but I feel like it's more effective when I use my finger. And with highlighter, you're just gonna place it right on top of your cheekbone. So grab a little bit. It's like that much on my finger. And then right up. And look at that shine. Look at that instant shine. This is why I love this one. Instant. And do the same thing. Grab it just a little bit and put it over here. And just bring it up with the blush. And there's an instant shine. Instant every time. And now I am going to use the brush. But I'm going to use the brush on, so highlighter goes on top of your cheekbones after blush placement. It goes on the end of your brow bone, and it can go on the tip of your nose if you like that, but I don't like my nose super shiny. I actually don't like drawing attention to it. I find it looks more natural if I just don't put anything on it. So just a little. Rub it on the blush. There we go. And it just brings a little shine to your face. For the fun of it, just to show you guys, highlighter goes right there. See, so now I'm glowing. Okay. Now, what you're gonna go in with next is, before we complete the basic just sculpting, now we are going to do bronzer. So you don't need bronzer if you do a lot of heavy contour, but I like bronzer because it brings warmth, especially for fall is coming. I think bronzer is really pretty. So dab your brush into it. Now shake off the excess product right into the thing so we can still have it. And we're just gonna go over the same spot so we did contour. And right there, we're gonna bring some warmth there. I like to do the warmth a little lower so I don't interfere with the blush. And I'm gonna go on my temples. And I'm gonna work my way up to my forehead. We're just gonna rub all of that in and just bring warmth to the area. And same thing on the other side. Go with your temples. Just work your way around your face. And then we're gonna do under the cheekbone. Right there. Just warm it up. Give you that nice bronzy look that we all love. See that? And you just sculpt. While you are bringing warmth, always use it as an opportunity to sculpt also. And then we're just gonna do a little. Okay, so now the basic sculpting up the face is done. Now I'm gonna go into my eyebrows and my eyelashes and lips. Those are your finishing touches. So I'm gonna use the Spoolie. I have this dual tipped brow pencil. One side's pencil, and oh gosh, that's a long pencil. It comes out. And the other side is the Spoolie. So I'm gonna brush my eyebrows first before going in with anything. I like a little bit of an arch, and then I brush it down. You really want to get the beginning pieces because that will really highlight your brow. So again, same thing. Perfect. See that? Just brush it. Now, I used to use more so brow gel, and I do like that because it gives it a clean look, but I feel like for fall and to look more subtle and that just goes with a little bronzer and contour, I feel like the just typical pencil looks better. So then I'm gonna draw, so when you're putting, when you're drawing a line, when you're filling in your eyebrows, I'm sorry, I can't talk, you're gonna put the line inside the eyebrow and then blend it out. When you do a line all the way on the outside and all the way on the top, it looks completely fake and drawn on and unnatural. So when you draw the line on the draw a line in your brow and then you lightly fill it in but leave the top alone, it looks more natural. So we're just gonna go right in. See, can't even tell. And now we just fill in. Perfect, look at that. And now same thing on the other side. So check in my mirror to see better. Lovely. And now I'm just going to brush them out one more time just to get the product moving if it looks a little stiff or anything, just to help move that product in there. And same thing on the other side. And perfect. Now I also have gone over my brows like this with gel, and it gives a super nice look, but I'm just not feeling the gel today. But you can, this would be the time that you would apply gel. So now that I did my eyebrows, I'm gonna work my way down to my eyes. Now for your eyes, you could do 3 basic things. You could do eyeliner, eyeshadow, and mascara. Those are like your 3 basic. But I am not big on eyeshadow. I think it's really pretty, and I've been loving those like eyeshadow sticks, but they are not my favorite thing ever. And today for basic makeup look, I'm gonna skip on the eyeshadow. So let me get my, so a lot of people use black eyeliner. I use brown and I use pencil. I just find that it looks more natural. I like the brown look a bit for fall too, but yeah, so I'm just gonna apply this to both of my eyes on the line of it. And it's really crucial when you're putting on eyeliner not to do it on top of your lid, but to do it on the actual line of your eye. Be super gentle and careful around your eyelashes, and when you're going over it, you might have to go over the same spot a few times because it's definitely more difficult and more of a challenge when you're doing eyeliner this way. You can also do your bottom line of it. You're going to do about halfway. And yeah, so I will update you guys once I finish doing that. Okay, so I'm finished with my eyeliner, and as you can see, it already brought out my eyes a little. Now I'm just gonna go in with a soft little brush and just go over it a little bit to smooth it out so it's not as harsh. Perfect. Now I'm gonna go in with mascara. I use Maybelline's. It is the Effet Eventel one. Barely pronounce it, but mauve bottle. So I'm gonna grab that and then just go right into the lashes with it. Okay, and now I'm done with my lashes. I feel like it already gave me a big lift. That's why I really like that mascara. I don't use fake lashes, so this works out perfectly. You can just see a little closer. I love it. And now I am going to go to my lips. So I am using, what even brand is this? Prestige lip liner. I don't even know, but it's a pretty color. We'll put it like that. Use any lip liner, but this is a really pretty mauve color. So I typically start on the edges and then work my way up to the top and then do the bottom last. But just some things you should know before you go into doing your lips is lips have 2 lines. You have your outer line, which tends to be thicker, and you have your inner lip line. I like to do the inner lip line because I prefer them more defined rather than larger. But yeah, so I'm just gonna go straight in. And really, really gentle strokes with this because lip liner is strong, and to me, you don't want too much. You just want to it's the outline a little. And then I also draw an X, just like that. And I fill that in. And then see, just like that. It looks a little funny now, but it's because I haven't blended it out yet. And yeah, just gonna bring that down a little. And then you can darken the edges a little. Perfect, just like that. Kind of looks natural. You can also, I would wear this as lipstick, but I do have my favorite lip products. So then I just blend it out with my finger a little. I don't know if people are supposed to do this. I don't know if anyone else does this, but just makes it look more natural. And so I normally do a lip gloss. I normally use L'Oreal's lip oil, or yeah, but it acts as a gloss. So but today I am going to do lipstick, and while I do love glossy lips, I'm feeling a neutral one. So I'm gonna use this one. It's a nice neutral color. It's really pretty, and it just brings up my lips a little bit and is complements all the other colors on my face. So right in with that on the lips. You're gonna have to stretch your lips out, or you might end up having a problem. There we go. And then there on the X again. And then we just blend in. Putting this back. And yeah, so last but not least, I'm going to finish with setting spray. I am using Glow On Fits Beauty setting spray. I just got this. It was in my Ipsy bag. So if you haven't watched the video on me reviewing my Ipsy bag products, please go do that now. Or after this one. And yeah, I'm just gonna hold it away from my face. And it just looks like a little spray bottle here. And just bend it all towards me. And yeah, so this concludes. I just tasted it. It's honestly not bad though. It doesn't taste bad, so maybe that's a good thing. So this concludes my makeup look. I'll take my hair down now. And here it is. So yeah, this is my basic makeup look for your everyday look, your going somewhere look, maybe an out to dinner look, just something not too difficult but easy enough to manage. It's basically just so you know where product placement is. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad you're here. Stay tuned for more episodes on this series, Back to Basics, because I'm gonna go in depth and do shorter videos on how to use each product. So if you didn't quite grasp the concepts I used here today, don't worry, because I have more homework coming. So thank you, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and I will talk to you soon.